What's up, everybody? StarCraft here with another StarCraft 2 commentary, and I've been promising you guys for a long time now that I would be climbing the ladder and giving you some good opponents finally for some replays on my channel. And here we go. I have found a good opponent here. This is actually PainUser, but ironically enough, this is not a ladder game. It was just a random pickup game. I just happened to join some King of the Hill game, and then PainUser gets invited, and everyone's like, oh my god, Psy versus PainUser, Psy versus PainUser. So that's what we're doing right now. This is on Delta Quadrant. Not the best Zerg map, but I've got kind of a new thing that I'd like to do against Terran players, and you're going to see that in this game, and whether or not it works or not. But yeah, a little bit of small talk, psychological warfare back in action. Something about cherries in Mario 2. I'll let you guys read that. But the reason Delta Quadrant is not a good map for Zerg is because these rocks down here prevent any sort of safe, fast expanding for Zerg. Zerglings do not kill rocks fast, and if you want to go 15 hatch, you can't really do it at those rocks. And if you want to go 15 hatch, you have to go out here, and there's just so much area where you can get tanked or you just get rushed and Hellions, and it's a big, big mess. So And the reason it's good for Terran is kind of the opposite reason. I don't even know. They're not really opposites. There's two different reasons. That didn't even make sense. But they can wall off here. And in most maps, okay, they're going to wall off, and then they'll take an expansion outside the wall off, and they can protect it pretty well. But on this map, they don't even have to worry about that. You know what? I'm just going to sit back here and expand in my wall off. Am I still talking? What the hell? In the wall off. Protected by the wall off. Zerg can't really utilize this cliff like other races can. So very strong Terran versus Zerg map. If you guys watch any of the GSL or any TVZ games or tournaments really, a lot of the Zerg players will eliminate Delta Quadrant as one of the playable maps. So yeah, there's that. I did go 15 gas this game, 14 pool. Didn't want to take that fast expansion, just didn't feel too safe. 15-14 is very solid opening. Gets you some nice speedlings pretty fast and lets you maintain map control, poke up here, do some scouting, that sort of thing. And apparently Painkiller doesn't do drugs anymore. He does not take painkillers. Now I remember what I said. Oh, and I was like, what's PKs? I was thinking like Diablo 2 player killers, and I don't know why. Like, I just said painkillers and he's like PKs. Abbreviating things I just say, man, that just confuses the hell out of me. Just confuses the hell out of me. CTHM. See, I can't even do it. It just CTHMs. Yeah, okay, enough of that. Sixlings. Whenever I get 15-14 builds, I usually get 4 or 6lings. Usually 6lings just because they're pretty good at taking out one Hellion. 4lings, not as good. Pikachu, is that what Painkiller is? Is that what I'm saying? I don't know. Pulling off 2 drones off the gas, pretty standard. You've seen this a million times from me. But this is going to be a little bit different. Running up here, 2 lanes going down to this Marine, but I do... Oh, there's 2 Marines here. That's pretty sneaky. But I killed that SCV, delaying the factory for a critical 10 seconds or so. Speed is almost done anyway, though, so I would have had speed. So, always worth it. 2 links for an SCV, hell yeah, man. Especially if it's going to delay a factory. Tech Lab going on that factory. And notice this entire game, I'm going to be poking up this ramp and noticing, scouting everything at the beginning of his ramp. Seeing that Tech Lab is going to be pretty important. That SCV does sneak on by. Don't quite have the speed. Rallying more lings. Just because whenever I see more than one Marine with the Terran player, I always think they might try for a Marine Hellion attack. So I did maybe go a little bit Overlord on these Zerglings. I don't think I needed 12 of them. And yet we see here, moving his Marines back, going to kill that destructible debris in the back of his base and preparing a command center. Very nice. He can always just lift that up and land it. Meanwhile, in the Zerg player size base, Roach Warren and a drone transfer going down. Harvester tab 22-19 right now, and I'm leaning towards Artosis play, man. I love putting up spines. I love getting 2 spines in my natural now. One about here. Protects you very nicely against Hellions. There's really no place the Hellions will be able to go where your spines can't prod at them with their sticky penises of death. So, and by sticky I mean like shaped like a stick, not like gooey or anything like that. Although if you prod them enough, they probably get kind of gooey. Right, layer going up off of 1 gas. If you're going to be getting mutas, you probably want to get your gas a little bit earlier, like another gas, a second or third gas, a little bit earlier before your layer comes. But I wasn't going to go mutas this game. That's what Terran players expect. It's what happens in 90% of ZVT games. This game though, I'm going to be getting roaches. And not just roaches, some more awesome stuff. Oh no, Road Overlord. At this point, I was like, oh, if that Overlord can make it up there, I bet he'll blow a scan to kill it. But, oh, he didn't even have energy. And of course you need to nerf Marines because they can kill Overlords way too fast. Way too fast. Looks like I only got one spy in this game. Maybe I wasn't afraid of any kind of Hellion play. Yeah, it looks like I did send my Lings up there at one point and see that tech lab. And against Terran mech, roaches do pretty well. A lot of it has to do with positioning and just how macroable, how well you macroed that game. There are the glial reconstitution going down and a burrow going down as well. Whoa! Income tab 34 to 27 doing pretty fine, but of course he does have those mules skyrocketing his resources well above mine, even though I've got, you know, 33% more workers than him. Well, not quite that much. More Zerg QQ. Now working off 3 gas. What am I producing here? Some roaches. Ooh, seeing that Hellion. Running a little bit too far past it, and I might not even get to kill it. Come on, Zerglings, chase it, chase it. Oh, this is just like Indy 500 and doing a little circle around. He should have just kept going and see how many times we could loop around, Mario Kart style. 3 tanks setting up in the main. Not a wall off, so that's kind of fishy. I guess he figures because he has those tanks, he doesn't really need to wall off. Beautiful, beautiful stim pack icon. Oh, I love it. I love it. It makes me want to be a spine crawler and prod things. Nice saturation at the main. A little bit lighter than I'd like it. Same with the expansion, but you know, not too bad. Not having to build too many units, just about 16 lanes and 1 roach. Production harvester tab, 42 to 32. Still good, still good. And we are seeing Overlord speed. And oh, there's the tunneling claws. You saw the burrow, you had to expect it. Tunneling claws are coming out. Of course, that allows your roaches to burrow and move underground and also heal at an extremely fast rate. 15 health per second, I believe it is. And PainUser content with just tanking up a little bit, or turtling up a little bit with some tanks. Now pushing out with a couple of Hellions. And this is about where I'd want to take my 3rd base. I'm a little bit slow on the 3rd. So yeah, and look at this. This is awesome. Like, he didn't even scout. He got a little bit greedy, I want to say, with his macro. He didn't want to scan because he wanted more mules. And because he didn't scan, he just wasted 300 minerals, which was a mule. And not only that, he has no idea what I'm going. So kind of a misplay right there in terms of using the energy on the orbital command. Rock's almost down 6 health. His drone can actually poke it 3 times and kill us. Running into my expansion, and yeah, that spine crawler helped out a little bit. I don't think he even killed any. He might have killed a couple of drones. Nothing too substantial. Those Hellions do go down. My Zerglings are going to be a bigger presence now that those Hellions are dead. And production tab, we are seeing ventral sacks, ladies and gentlemen. This is a new build that I don't know if I'm pioneering it. I don't know if that's the right word. But I've been using it a lot against Terran players because they do the same thing every game. Not too many Terran players get Bioballs anymore. A lot of them just focus on mech, like tanks, Thors, and Hellions. And this is something that has been extremely successful in a lot of my games lately. Just Overlord drops on top of tanks, on top of Thors. You want to take 1 clump of roaches and just attack. So just trying to distract the force. And then the other clump of roaches in the Overlords drop on top of the force. It's just so sick, and it's been working marvelously in the games that I've played. Keeping the macro up. Let's see, we're about 12 minutes into the game, and I've only got 42 excess energy on the queen. 17, so it's very good macro. Hotkey your queens, learn to macro, learn to inject. There's that 3rd base at the high yield. There's a car outside, and that was the engine. The Winjin engine. And it looks like I am loading up my Overlords. I haven't done much scouting. He is taking his 3rd. I don't know about that. Maybe a couple sacrificial Overlords would have been good. And he actually doesn't even have enough to saturate it, really. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of a fast 3rd for the amount of SCVs he has. And here we go, moving into his expansion. I don't see these turrets, so I need to be careful not to lose any of these Overlords in the front that have the roaches in them. And we'll keep a close eye on these. I don't want to zoom in. But to keep a close eye on them, looks like I do see the turrets. That one in the front might get killed. Looks like it did unload everything out before it was destroyed. Speed it back up again. I'm looking for any weak Overlords because I was really being picky with my management here. I didn't want any of my weak Overlords to lose their cargo. And it looks like I did a fine job. Yeah, maybe lost a couple Overlords. No cargo lost, however. He was preparing to fortify in the front here. but he's forced to pull his units back. So immobile that Tech Army is, and now his expansion is dead. Neglected lifting off that expansion. And do I need to engage here? Nope, don't need to engage. Just gonna lift off and get the heck out of there. Sorry guys, sorry Larry and Jimmy. Larry, Jimmy, and 2 little Moogles over there. These guys might actually survive. Wow, that's pretty cool. And he's trying to intercept my overlords, but I got bigger range than you, man. I can see that. He even stemmed up. Does he have any medevacs? Oh, he doesn't have any medevacs, and he just stemmed up a whole cluster of Marines for no reason. Continuing to macro, rallying the roaches. And you see why I only had 1 gas and then 3 gas for a while, and I just now got 4 gas. Pause for a second. Is because with roach play, you really are mineral starved more than anything. You want to focus on the minerals first, and then maybe get 3 gas. You don't really need 4 gas until a little bit later. I do have 1 attack upgrade as well. But now we are seeing him push in. He feels a little bit behind because I did kill an expansion, and he knows I'm taking my 3rd. He saw me busting on the rocks. See, I have any side of it? No. And so he's going to be pushing in, but I don't think this is timed very well. And this is exactly what I said earlier. Moving in some roaches. They're hotkeyed to 2. So these guys are 2. And then on 1 are my overlords. And there are a lot of roaches in here. Tanks aren't even sieged up. I'm going to be flying my overlords in, dropping on top of those Thors, dropping on top of these tanks. Notice I'm unloading on the move. And he is just getting so overwhelmed. Even some Zerglings in play. +1 roaches, not even needing to burrow or micro or anything like that. And just everything is so dead. And I wasn't doing this to be bad-mannered or anything. I was actually just healing up my roaches. They don't move too much slower while they're burrowed, and just overwhelming this poorly comprised Terran army. He was really expecting those mutas, and that kind of hurt him. Didn't respond too well to this drop. Not much scouting going on. And you'll see he did say GG re, so we do have a second match. I can cast that for you guys as well if you want. Just let me know. I do read the comments. Can't reply to them all, but I do read all of them, and hope you guys enjoy this. Thanks for watching.